to tell you right now. I had a dungeon master one time complain to me that he likes giving out rewards for his characters and special weapons, but then it's like, then they start min maxing everything, and then next thing you know they're like, they can basically one phase the big bag enemy guy, and I'm like, yeah, but that's kind of fun, It's you focus if you can blast through content just to get to the story. That's great, And I mean, a lot of single player narrative games like Halo and Tenchu Wrath of Heaven and Oni, they used to have like cheat codes, or exploit codes or whatever, or you earned a particular perk at the end of a mission, and eventually you could get into God mode. And yeah, sometimes you just want to waste things. You just want a shooting gallery. I mean, there's a reason why Space Invaders is still a popular game to play. Why Asteroids is still a popular game to play. Why Pac-Man is still popular in the PlayStation Store. It's because these games, they're challenging in the strategic sense, but not in the blasting away or might versus might sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are you strong enough to fight this boss? No, it should be more, are you clever enough to fight this boss? Because map placement, if you have an open world like this, or I should say an arena-based game experience like this, with tools that are specialized towards particular enemies, then you should be able to be rewarded for your cleverness, and not because you figured out the mechanic or anything like that. And again, like I said, I'm just going to retouch that footnote there. Mechanics should be there to speed the encounter along or provide an extra bonus. They should not be mandatory to complete the encounter. Okay? Yes, there are certain mechanics that are part of the encounter. Like there's a boss who, you can only hit him in the stomach when you've with solar energy, to deal damage with him. So you equip solar energy and you aim for the stomach. That's an okay mechanic, but you're still getting progress on the boss. But a boss that goes immune for 30 seconds and can only be brought out of immunity by throwing a relic at them and stuff, that's kind of on the edge. But a boss that goes through phases and disallows you any kind of contact or damage progression, yeah, dragging out the fight, no, sorry, that's not good mechanics. That's throttling, and it's to not be in the game. I don't throttle my players when I play D&D or any game. If somebody wants to, burn through, a dungeon level to get to the next level because they just don't see any value on this layer, I'm going to be like, yeah, sure, man, go for it. Sooner you get done with this adventure, we can start another one. And that's the way it should be. And that's a lot of what, I mean, you dance a fine line between binging and grinding with that idea. But here's the thing. You're grinding the moment you start thinking about all the other things you could be doing. If you're not doing the activity, if you're not in the activity itself, if you're not thinking about the activity, and all you're thinking about is like, shit, dude, I want to go get a sandwich. Or, man, I could be playing, Magic the Gathering right now online. Or, fuck, I could be going through my, Warhammer miniatures and picking out my next kill team for this weekend. If you're doing that while you're playing a video game, then that's grinding. You're grinding. You shouldn't be grinding. Don't grind. Grinding is bad. But really, like I said, things I'd like to see in the game, less push towards grinding. More, a more permissive or a more profitable loot table. Content-wise, friendly fire. Friendly fire would be so fucking fun. In fact, have a friendly fire zone. It's like like right here. I'm where I'm at. I'm in the outskirts. Okay, like say for instance, you wander into the outskirts, and it's an open battle royale. It's player versus player, and everybody is a target. There's every man for himself. You can group if you want to organically with another couple players, and be a team if you want to. And maybe have a lost sector in there that you get in for like a dungeon fight. That'd be something fun. Just a friendly fire zone, and it gives the people the chance to get in and do some actual strike level type activities but with a lot of PvP in it and no leaderboard. There's no leaderboard here. This is, you are in here, you know, attacking each other because you want to, because you're here to blow off some steam, or you want to practice a little bit before you go to Crucible, and you don't want to have to like call a bunch of friends together because maybe everybody else is busy doing something, and you didn't want to rando into a bunch of matches just to fucking, you know, spoil your KDR, because I know that's precious to some people. I don't give a fuck anymore. I used to. And when KDR was part of you know, certain quests back in Destiny 1, it was important. But it's not, you know, for me anymore. I don't. That's the thing, is that I've grown enough with Destiny that I realize I've completed the game, and as far as the primary objectives I've had for my character and for myself as a player, I'm still kind of working towards, you know, being a better hunter. Which is why I don't play Warlocks or Titans, because Warlocks I just don't get the timing for, and the other ones is like the Titan is, I've played so much of the Titan, I'm kind of bored with the Titan, and I don't find Hunters boring. I'm sorry. It's not that, you know, I think they're better than the rest. It's just for my playstyle and for what they offer me, you know, thematically and you know, mechanically. I have more fun with Hunters, so yeah. But anyway, like I said, I mean, I've completed the game, in my opinion, for my perspectives and for my needs. So now I can sit back and enjoy playing the game. You know, that's basically what most players are all about. And Bungie seems to not remember that, is that completing the game is so that we can come back and enjoy the game. You know, there were, back in the early days of PlayStation, there were single-player experiences that only had that maybe a good 40, 50 hours worth of gameplay, and the replayability was coming back and doing harder modes or having God mode. And, you know, there's a reason why people do speed runs, you know, on certain games. It's because that's their challenge mode. And that shouldn't be a mechanic that needs to be there to complete something else. That's something else that Bungie seems to misinterpreted with its players. Is back in Destiny 1, we would do self-imposed challenge modes. You know, we would figure out ways to cheese encounters in the raids, or we would do speed runs through strikes, or we would try to do solo runs in strikes. You know, we'd go in with a 3-man fire team, and then 2 people would leave, and the dude that was left behind would go in, you know, try to, you know, complete it all on their own. And you know, that was done for fun, and then Bungie goes and makes it a fucking requirement, and I'm like, you know what? I don't need those. I don't need that. And I mean, fortunately for me, the only 2 exotics I care about in my armor are the Stompies and the Bombardiers. And yeah, you know, I'm still looking for, you know, I mean, I think I've got some pretty good high rolls on them. They're pretty balanced stat-wise. Alright, we're just gonna sit here and fiddle with my gun for a second. I don't know why I'm still fucking with this. Yeah. So I'd like to see friendly fire zone in the patrol area. That'd be kind of fun to try out. And again, no leaderboard. You're doing it for the giggles. You know, you're just doing it because you can. You're not, you know, you're not there to earn prizes. You're not there. No prizes, no glimmer, no loot. It's just about, you know, you versus the environment and the players around you, if they want to go ahead and do it. Just a true, you know, survival type experience. Battle Royale survival type experience. I think that'd be fantastic. Bring back Sparrow Racing. For God's fucking, yeah. Bring it back. It's so much fun. Yes, you could do coordinated, you know, you can organize a little Sparrow race of your own here, but the actual Sparrow Racing League with its rewards and its tier systems, that was something I committed to. I got into that. That was a thing, and I liked it a lot, and I miss it a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people do too. Give us some more functionality with our jump ship. You know, it was really cool that we had player housing for a short time with Calus's Triumph Hall. That was kind of neat, you know. But I mean, again, it was really just a seasonal activity. Honestly, just kind of lingered a little bit longer than it needed to. And again, wrapped around this false sense of difficulty in trying to get achievements. And I'm like, not really player housing. Player housing for me is like what they have in ESO, where you can decorate it, you can add NPCs, house guests as they call it. You can display your trophies, you can craft your own furniture and design your own rooms and stuff like that, and just have a nice social space that is for you and your friends or your clanmates or guildmates in Elder Scrolls as it is. And that's what would I think that would be fun to have in Destiny. It's not really necessary, but it would just be kind of like a neat little, just a neat little perk. Um, so let's see, Sparrow Racing, Jump Ship Fighting. Jump Ship Fighting, come on, let's have some high orbital combat. I'd like to have a low orbit combat mode where you get into like fighter planes. I mean, you can't get more first person shooter than a space fighter sim. That is. I mean, there's a reason why the Star Wars franchise Battlefront does so well for so long, in spite of the fact that it's basically a slow burn interest wise, is because it's got all those variety of modes of fighting. You have vehicle combat. I really do miss combined arms. We have arenas that are big enough still to have combined arms. You could totally bring it back. I mean, you brought back the moon, but you didn't bring back, First Light or New Dawn or whatever it was called. It doesn't make sense. Um, the EDZ is just a fantastic Sparrow track. You could totally have this as a Sparrow track. Even Nessus could be done up as a Sparrow track. Bring back Mars as a Sparrow track. Come on, Sparrow Racing, please. Again, I'm just going to keep harping on it. As far as the whole mechanics part of this game, um, again, mechanics should be there to move the encounter along faster, not as a requirement to complete the encounter. So, having a boss go immune for 30 seconds and making you face a wave, that's an okay mechanic. I don't like throttled encounters, but that's an okay mechanic. That mechanic says, boss is going to go immune when you do a certain amount of damage, and then you're going to have to defend yourself against a bunch of waves or his attacks. And then when she's finally, drops her shields finally, then you can go ahead and attack. Having a mechanic like, okay, well, there's also this relic that you can pick up, and if you shoot it at the boss, it drops her shields, and then you can attack her. And that's a good mechanic because it's optional. You can either, sustain your activity, sustain your characters for 30 seconds while, the boss is immune, or you can access this, this particular relic to go ahead and take care of it. Not that you have to do it. Like that was the one thing in the Vault of Glass that kind of made me a little bit like, oh, I hate this fucking shit. Oracles was fine. Oracles, for some strange reason, I found was to be very enjoyable and fun. But the Templar, the Templar mechanic where you had to shield your teammates, and then you had to shoot the fucker with the shield to drop his shield, and then go down and do down. Yeah, that was the beginning of the end, I think. That right there was the slippery slope they set up, as they like to call it. Some people like to say a slippery slope, like microtransactions being the slippery slope. Yeah, and what that ever means. But yeah. So that's kind of the thing, and I think Bungie's game is at a point right now where there doesn't really seem to be any kind of completion outside of maybe maxing out your character for the current season as far as level goes, or platinuming the game on the PlayStation trophies or Xbox or whatever trophies you collect. Getting all the triumphs and stuff. I mean, if that's where you want to put your efforts and stuff, that's great. That's fine. If that's how you want to measure your success in the game. Me, it's about having fun, and that's why you play. I mean, I don't do this for a living, obviously. I got another 10 levels before Butthead shows up. This is what I'm talking about. This right here, this is needless. This is boring. Come on. Come on, where the fuck are you? Where the hell is it? Oh, there it goes. I love it. It's supposed to be a tracking rocket, but it doesn't ever. I know, right? There we go. That's the way a boss should go down. I mean, we're fucking god killers, guys. Seriously. Okay. I think we're done here. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Laters.